Alright guys, let's talk about the hizzie sire bond. So I've talked about the sire line and explaining that I personally believe that if Hope were to die, Lizzie would die with her, but if Lizzie dies by herself, obviously she doesn't. However, the sire bond is so confusing. I've seen a lot of edits talking about it by using the scene from season 4 of the Vampire Diaries saying that vampirism heightens those emotions, human emotions and feelings towards their sire before they are turned. However, I don't really know how it works. In Klaus's case, they're not in love with him or love him. They are indebted to him as the captain and the leader, saying, thank you, you allowed me to break free of having to turn constantly. When the moon comes around, I no longer have to turn into my werewolf nature. Obviously, I like it better in Teen Wolf, where you don't have to fully turn into a wolf. You have, your hair just changes and your eye colors change, and then you get your fangs out, kind of like a vampire. Obviously, I like it better that way. I've always said that. But moving right along with the hizzie sire bond. Now, it has never been established in the story whatsoever that Lizzie ever liked girls. Just telling you that FYI. Not that that matters. I don't really care one way or another. The thing is that some people say that it's safe to assume that Lizzie did have a crush on Hope, or just loved her like a sister. I personally think it's more the indebted part with the merge, but if my headcanon is the way I like it, I say that they did have something going on with a relationship of loving each other, regardless if it was a sister type relationship or actually a legitimate couple relationship with hizzie and stuff. But I don't know. I just can't get behind the sire bond with it because I just don't know how it really works anymore. They always mess up in Legacies. They always fuck you over, make stuff weird. Oh, yeah, head dives. It's like, whoa, I don't know if a head dive was a real thing in Vampire Diaries and so forth and so on. But the point is that it's like they don't stick to their current stuff. But maybe Hope is just special. Maybe everyone is sire to her. It doesn't matter if it's Josie or Hope or Raph or any of the other werewolves and stuff. Because when she when she sired Henry in the originals, he was sired to her and followed most of her commands by singing and everything else before his heart got ripped out by Greta and Roman. But the point is that maybe it's kind of that same concept. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's feelings or not. Maybe it's just because Hope is special and she's unique of being the first of her kind that her blood basically sires anyone, regardless of who it is. So maybe, let's say that MG was still human and Hope broke his neck and gave him her blood. Would she be sired? And the answer is maybe, possibly. But the main gist is that I think Hizzie may, or Lizzie in this case, of the Hizzie relationship, I think Lizzie may have had a crush on Hope, and that's why it worked. I really wish that they had ended up together. I would have loved to see them as a couple and see what would have happened. But maybe Hope is just unique in that way, and everyone's sired to her. It doesn't matter if it's a hybrid vampire or anything. Yes, heretics are hybrids. I've explained this before. So maybe it doesn't matter if it's a witch siphoner, a werewolf, or just a regular human turning into a vampire. Maybe everyone is sired to her. But I just don't understand the hizzie sire bond. I don't know how it works. But personally, I think that Lizzie did have a crush on Hope. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I'm getting sick and tired of explaining this. But yeah, the hizzie sire bond, let's explain it. I just think that Lizzie had a crush on Hope. Bada bing, bada boom. I think that's all there is to it. In my headcanon, I think Lizzie did. My other side is saying that it leans more towards the in-debt part, no longer having to do the merge. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, guys.